Hello everyone, my name is Donna. Today I'm very happy to be here to write the English class. I'm very ready to write about the work, continue about the work stress. Leave the trees, leave the trees and the sun in the sky. Leave the tree and the sun in the skies. The breeze is so fresh. The breeze is so fresh and the grass is so high. The breeze is so fresh and the grass is so high. The breeze is so fresh and the grass is so high. Gone is the autumn. Gone is the autumn and yellow and gold. Gone is the autumn of yellow and gold. Gone are the night of the winter so cold. Gone are the nights of the winter so cold. Gone is the autumn of yellow and gold. Gone are the nights of the winter so cold. Wet in the morning and blackbird that sing. Wake, wake in the morning to blackbirds that sing. They are the things that I love about spring. They are the things that I love about spring. I saw her, I saw her, I saw her. I climbed him, I climbed him, I climbed him. We hurt them, we hurt them, we hurt them. He liked her fate, 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 he liked her fate. I lost my key, I lost my key, I lost my key. You met our son, you met our son. I'm waiting, I'm waiting. You're talking, you're talking, you're talking. Ừ, dầu nè, dầu nè, gọi là bôi cái này. Ướt thì lau khô.
to them. We will be dealing with two rules, Rule 1 and Rule 2. Rule 1 is devoted for verbs and adjectives, i.e. 2 and 3 syllable words, or disyllabic and trisyllabic words. Rule 2 is devoted for nouns, consisting of 2 or 3 syllables. We start with Rule 1. Rule 1 has 3 sub-rules, Rule 1A, Rule 1B and Rule 1C that we will be dealing with them later on. We start with Rule 1A. Rule 1A says if the last syllable consists of a long vowel or a diphthong, or a long vowel followed by one single consonant or closed by one single consonant, or a diphthong followed by one single consonant, then the stress will fall on the alt or the last syllable. We see some examples. The first case, where the last syllable consists of a long vowel, we have the verb prefer. Prefer. Look to the last syllable. We have the long vowel so we place the stress on the last syllable or the alt. Another example, agree. Agree. Here the last syllable consists of the long vowel e, so we have placed the stress on that last syllable or the alt. In the second case, where we have the diphthong, look to the verb commandeer. Commandeer. The last syllable of this verb consists of the diphthong ear, so we have placed the stress on the alt or last syllable. Another example is the adjective severe. Severe. The last syllable consists of the diphthong ear, so we have placed the stress on the alt syllable. The third case is a long vowel followed by one single consonant. We have the example complete. Complete. The last syllable consists of a long vowel, which is long e, followed by one single consonant, which is the sound t, or the consonant sound t. So we have placed the stress on the alt. Another example is refuse. Refuse. The last syllable in refuse consists of the long vowel oo, followed by the consonant sound z. So we have placed the stress on the alt. The third case is a diphthong followed by one single consonant. For example, sublime. In this word, in the last syllable we have the diphthong I followed by one single consonant, which is m, so we have placed the stress on the alt. Another example, retain. In this word, the last syllable consists of the diphthong a followed by the one single consonant, which is the n, so we have placed the stress on the last syllable or the alt. We move to the second sub-rule in the first rule, which is Rule 1b. It says if the last syllable consists of a short vowel followed by two consonants, and only two consonants, not one, not three, not four. So if the last syllable consists of a short vowel followed by two consonants, the stress will fall on the alt or the last syllable. For example, we have the verb collect. collect. So the last syllable consists of the short vowel e followed by two consonants which are k and t. So we have placed the stress on that syllable, that is the alt. Another example, subtract. In this word, the last syllable consists of the vowel or the short vowel a followed by two consonants which are k and t. So we have placed the stress on the last syllable or the alt. We move to Rule 1C, other cases. It says if we don't find Rule 1A or Rule 1B, it means we will find other cases. In this case, we are going to place the stress on the penult or the second from the end. Look to the examples. We have the word consider, consider. The last syllable does not consist of the rule 1A, neither the rule 1B, so we have placed the stress on the penult, that is, the second from the end. Another example, the word cancel, the word cancel. Look to the last syllable. We don't find as well rule 1A nor Rule 1B. So it means we find other cases. In this case, we place the stress on the penult or the second from the end. We move to Rule 2, which is devoted for nouns. It has two sub-rules, Rule 2A and Rule 2B. Rule 2A says, if the last syllable of the noun contains a short vowel, then the stress will fall on the penult, that is, the second from the end. We see some examples. Look to the word effort. The last syllable contains the short vowel e or the schwa, so we have placed the stress on the penult or the second from the end. Another example, the word reflect.
Information. Eo ơi quê quá, sao lại đọc là information?
Hello and welcome back to Pronunciation with Emma. In today's video, I'm going to give you a complete masterclass on sentence stress and intonation in English. Make sure you stay until the end of the video because I have a really nice surprise for you that will help you practice sentence stress and intonation more and get feedback on it. So let's start firstly with what kind of stress English uses. English is a stress-timed language, and this basically means that you give certain words, which we'll talk about in a moment, more stress and more emphasis when other words are weakened. They sound a lot softer. This is why when you're watching something with subtitles, for example, you understand everything, and then you turn off the subtitles and you think, what was that word? That sounded like a really long word. But actually when you put the subtitles back on and you take a look, it actually turns out to be these little words all squished together and said very quickly. And that's because of sentence stress. We can compare a stress time language to, for example, a syllable time language. A syllable time language basically gives each syllable approximately the same amount of time. We can also compare it to Mora time languages, for example, Japanese. So if you're a Japanese speaker, congrats, you speak a Mora time language. This is very similar in a sense to syllable time languages, where you give each Mora the same amount of time. I still remember when I was at university, a lecturer of mine described Mora timing and syllable time languages like machine guns. It's like da 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 da. While English is more like ba 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 ba. And that's because we give certain words more stress in a language like English. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's take this exercise here. Very simple one, okay? I hope you can count to 4 because that's all you need to do right now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the rhythm we're going to follow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try adding some words in between. For example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now notice what I did. I didn't say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I didn't stress and. I only stressed the numbers. And was weakened to n. So not and, but n. We're using a weak form here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's add another word in there. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Again, I'm not saying 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, okay? That's quite tiring and my poor hand is gonna start hurting in a moment. But you see what I mean. So in English, we don't stress every single word. We're going to stress the numbers because they're important here in this exercise, but the and a are going to be weakened to n, We're going to join them together, n. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Now let's apply this same rule to a proper sentence. So here I've got, I want a cup of tea. I want a cup of tea. So notice I'm not saying, I want a cup of tea. It's not all stress. I want a cup of tea. Now when it comes to intonation, we're going to raise our pitch slightly on those stressed words. So we're not going to read it all monotone, like, I want a cup of tea, okay? It sounds very robotic in English if you do that. You'll be understood, but to another person's ear, it will sound quite robotic. So raise your pitch on those stressed words. I want a cup of tea. I want a cup of tea. Now you're probably thinking, great Emma, understood that, but which words are stressed and which ones are unstressed? I have a handy table for you. What we can do is categorize English words into 2 different groups, our content words and function words. To name a few content words, nouns, adverbs, adjectives, verbs, question words, and negative, auxiliary, modal, and negative words in general. For our function words, we have articles, auxiliary verbs, modal verbs, the verb to be, pronouns, prepositions, and conjunctions, otherwise known as connectives. So if we go back to our original sentence, I want a cup of tea, we have I as a pronoun, want, verb, a, article, cup, noun, of, preposition, tea, noun. So you can see here how it follows that list that I gave before. Now let's change our sentence a little bit. I would like a cup of tea. This time we've got the pronoun, well, it's the same as before, pronoun. Then we've got would, we've got a modal verb. But notice I'm not saying I would like, I weaken it. I would like. So would becomes would. I would like is a verb. I would like a. It's the same after that actually, it's the first sentence. So we have the article, a, cup, noun, of, preposition, and tea, the noun. Let's take a look at this one together. Which of these words do you think will be stressed? Okay, you can pause, have a think. She will be late to the party. She will be late to the party. So again, she, pronoun. Will is our modal verb, and we don't usually stress modal verbs. She will be late. Late is an adjective. To the, not to the, to the. Preposition, article, party, noun. She will be late to the party. She will be late to the party. Here's another sentence, a little bit longer to practice with. Which ones do you think will be stressed here? Feel free to pause the video and take your time. Can you go to the shop and buy me some bread? Can you go to the shop and buy me some bread? Can, remember, is a modal verb. We're not going to stress it. Can becomes can. Can you go? Can you go? Not to the, to the, to the.
I think that's enough for today. Goodbye and see you.